I don't set limitations on myself anymore. And I guess I'll just talk about like my thoughts on this. You're not real. Like, I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, everybody just tries to put me and everybody else into some sort of box. Like, oh, you're this, or you gotta do this, and you can't think like that. And honestly, it was just a lot of fear. And I would wonder to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't do that. But now as I've gotten older and I'm like kind of defining my own reality, it's not that I just don't accept reality. But I listen to the information and I kind of decide for myself. I've been finding out that really there is no such thing as a limitation. The only limitation is you put on yourself. Whatever you want to do. Even I was thinking about this, like, oh, what if I said I wanted to fly or something? You know, Obviously you can't fly with like just go out there and fly, right? But there's certain interpretations you could have by that. What does that mean? Does that mean I want to fly an airplane? Does that mean I just want to fly in an airplane? Do I just mean fly like I just want to soar, I guess abstractly or something, like so. And then if like your goal is to play soccer, it's like, dude, it's like, well then just play soccer and you've already won. That's kind of how I think, so I feel like that kind of bothers a lot of people because it's like, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's like, you could just do what you wanted to do. Now, granted, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, and I suppose I could just do that, but it could backfire, right? So there's always precautions you have to take. Like, I can't quit today, but I can make a plan in the future to get that done, and then it'll happen, But if I tell myself, oh, that's not possible, then it can't be done, I also think like everybody's like ideas, I need $1 million, like to do whatever I want, or it's kind of that thinking, but I kind of think of it like I think that way as well. It would be nice to have $1 million, right? But I also think backwards where it's like, well, what could I do? Sure, you could make $1 million, but it's really hard. And not putting limitations on myself, but that may take a lot of time, which we have time, but I like it like in the way of, okay, let's go for that, but let's also do the reverse. Maybe we could lower our bills so we wouldn't need $1 million, and it's like these kind of, I guess, double pronged ideas where it's like lower your bills and then make a lot of money. So I'm doing different stuff to get that completed, but one of my goals is to not have to work a 9 to 5. So there are ways to get that done. I have my own plans, but I'm just in the process. But it will get done. I never said I couldn't do it, I just probably can't do it tonight, or tomorrow, or I said maybe I could. Maybe I'm still putting limitations on myself, but nothing can stop you except yourself. Now, I do have some stuff I want to do, right? But I have to take it easy because I have a slight injury. So I'm not saying you can't. There are times where you have to chill out and relax, but that doesn't mean you still put limitations on yourself, right? So my ears, they're ringing, not currently, but I've been having some issues. So I'm taking a break back from just a bunch of loud music and a lot of loud stuff. But that doesn't mean you stop training, doesn't mean you stop preparing for what's next, and I would never say like push yourself like to destroy your body, because that would make no sense, What would be the point of like pushing if you're endangering yourself? So there is a time where you need to stop, but you really don't have to put limitations on yourself if you don't want to. There are some people who find life easier when things are in a box because you don't have to think as much, you know? But it's not just me, but I have to kind of like, I'm the guy that takes things out of a box and like tries to turn it into a triangle or something. You know, I'm just weird like that. So that's just kind of how I am. But some people, it works for them. But for me, I can't put limitations on myself because I become unhappy very quickly. And look, my goal is simple, man. I want to play piano and sing, and I want to not have to work a job. That's not that crazy. Like, it sounds crazy, but that's part of the program, you know? If you want to play tennis, dude, then like, every moment you're playing tennis or studying tennis, you're winning. That's all. If your goal is to be a millionaire, well, every dollar you put aside, you gotta know that you're winning. So, okay, I put $10 aside. Yeah, it's not a million, but a million is just, what is that? 5 zeros added to $10. So it's just numbers. Like, it doesn't, you know, but if you're on the path, you're winning. So that's basically my take on it. I don't set limitations on myself. It doesn't scare me to see, I guess, I don't know, sometimes it scares people to actualize their like dreams because I feel like one, they have nothing to complain about, and then two, most people don't know themselves very deeply. And it's not to bash anybody or anything, but I think a lot of people are afraid to figure out who they really are truly inside. And unfortunately for me, that's just how, I don't know. Maybe I'm obsessed with trying to find out who I am deep down. So, but then again, I go through a lot of stress for the choices I make, you know? Life would be much easier if I just would kind of stay in the box, but for whatever reason, I'm super disagreeable about that. So, yeah, never set limitations on yourself unless you like them. I do have limitations for myself, but that's because I choose them. I'm not trying to be a world-class biker. Maybe I could, but I'm not going to because it's not my passion. It's not what I'm interested in. So you have to decide your limitations. It's all in your hands. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I might be starting a Patreon or something where I could show you guys maybe my trades or what I do or what I'm purchasing or what I'm into at the current moment. I can only do these videos so much where, I don't know, and I can't get too personal on this. But yeah, I'll see you guys next video, man. Peace.